from McKinney North last week against Royse City, 42-13 the final score. I'm joined by their head coach, Mike Fecci. And Coach, very pleased with the win. You're now 1-1 district play. Overall, a complete performance from your team.
Yeah, it was a big win for us, big win. Come out and answer the call offensively and defensively and special teams like we did. It was a huge win. Our kids were excited. It was a lot of fun for sure.
We'll go ahead and show those highlights of the game, and there's plenty of them for you. It was a tough game early on. It took you a little while to get going. You had the one early touchdown in the first quarter, but Royse City hung in there in the opening moments.
They did. Royse City played really hard early, which we knew they would. We were able to force a turnover early in the ball game on the first drive, which was big, kind of set the tempo for the night. But you're right, Royse City's got a lot of, they got a lot of pride, and they played their guts out, and it was a tough battle there at the beginning.
It's been mainly about Ronald Jones on the ground throughout most of the season, and he still had a great game in this one, but you also got Trey Smith very involved with the touchdown.
We did. We got Trey going in the running game, and both Ronald and Trey went over 100 yards, and both scored, so that was nice. When you have two backs like that, you can both get over 100, that's big.
In the second quarter, Royse City scored a touchdown and missed an extra point, so they were within one at 7-6, and then all year long, you've really had trouble in the second quarter.
Yeah.
That's been your enemy quarter, but this time you performed very well.
Yeah, we made a big point emphasis about starting fast and then playing well in the second quarter, and our kids did both of those things. You're right. We were sitting there at 7-6, and then we kind of put the pedal down in the second quarter and pulled away from them, to go in a half with a pretty convincing lead.
Ronald Jones with the 11-yard touchdown run there. You lead 14-6 about midway through the second quarter. On your next drive, Ronald Jones is going to break another big one for a touchdown, a 40-yard run this time.
Yeah, Ronald had a good night. He had 120 yards, I think, on 11 carries. He's averaging 10 yards a carry, and I think he scored 14 or 15 touchdowns up to this point. And it was a great job of blocking downfield by Trey Sanders and those receivers and springs them, and we were able to go into half, up pretty good.
That's one of the things I noticed too about these highlights is the blocking upfield. It wasn't just Ronald by himself trying to do something. You had several guys upfield making plays.
Yeah, we did. A lot of receivers making blocks. That's a big emphasis of us. If they won't do that, they won't be out there. And, they take a lot of pride in that and work on it. And Coach Crosby does a great job with it. It's a really good throw and catch here to Trey Sanders, gets behind that guy and for a touchdown. And that was a good deal.
That was right before the end of the half. You got the ball with a minute and a half left to drive the field 73 yards. You started off with a little trick play. Parks threw a pass to Ducey, and then in 4 plays you're able to drive the length of the field.
Yeah, you were able to go down the field and score before the half, and that was big because we knew we had the ball to start the second half, and we knew we had to come out and put it in the end zone to start the second half, and that's what we did. That's what you want. When you have the lead at half, you want to come out and start fast in the second half, and we did that as well.
More great running, as you see there. Defensively, it was a big game for you. Royse City ran 90-something plays, and their quarterback, Watts, took himself 31 times on the ground. Defensively, though, you have to be proud of the way that your defense lasted out there. They never got worn down.
No, they didn't. Anytime somebody runs 90 plays at you, and you only give up 13 points, what you're seeing a lot of is a lot of 2- and 3-yard gains. And that was Royse City's game plan, was to go out there and eat clock, which they did. We just had enough offensive firepower to score. We ran 49 plays offensively and scored 42 points in 49 plays, so that was big. But, I'm proud of our defense. They came a long way. We tackled much better. We rallied to the ball much better. And, we'll need to take that confidence from this one and hopefully transfer it into this week.
The final score is 42-13 in this one. And when you get a win of a big margin like that, obviously it builds the confidence, but how quickly do these guys refocus from that game to the matchup ahead?
Pretty quickly. We ask them to do it by Saturday morning. We come in Saturday morning, we'll watch the game from the night before, and then the minute that's done, we'll give a little talk about who we're playing and ask them to start thinking about those guys. And that's what we did Saturday. We were able to watch this, see what we did good, see what we need to do better on, and then we start talking about Lovejoy, and then again today, So it's we give them 24 hours, I guess, to get over that thing and enjoy it.
One day, that's just enough to enjoy victory. Lovejoy comes in with a 3-2 overall record. They're 1-1 in district. Basically, the whole entire district just about is 1-1. Denison, the only undefeated team in the district, which is a little bit of a surprise. And then that just makes for a wide open district at this point. Really, it's anybody's game.
It really is. It really is. There's 6 teams that are 1-1. There's one team 2-0 in Denison. Greenville's 0-2, and then there's 6 people at 1-1. So It's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be a race. And, you know, our message to our kids is this is going to be a week-by-week process, and you have to go out this week and handle your business this week against Lovejoy, you know, because it's going to start to separate at some point. And when it does, you want to obviously make sure you're on the top side of that thing.
Lovejoy's had to use a backup quarterback the last few weeks. Bowman Sells had an injury early on in the season. Dakota Michaels has come in his place and played well. But there's a chance that Bowman Sells is going to be back for this game, and you're preparing like he will be.
We will. We anticipate him being back. You know, he was out there in pregame last week throwing balls. He was in T-shirt and shorts, but he was throwing balls. He was out of the sling. So we anticipate him being back. You know, he had a non-throwing shoulder injury. So we anticipate him being back. You know, what they've done with Dakota Michaels at quarterback was pretty much what they were doing with Bowman Sells at quarterback. So, you know, we were able to, and we've got lots of film on them, you know, so we got a pretty good idea of what they do and how they do it. That's not the hard part. The hard part is stopping what they do. They're very, very explosive offensively, you know, with Daniel Sefcek and Chachi Lucy, and they have a lot of weapons over there that are very, very talented kids, and they have different tempos, and they just pose a lot of issues for us defensively. So we'll have to just kind of go out today and tomorrow and Wednesday and get ready for that and go play hard and tackle well in open space and see what goes on from there.
Let's talk a little bit about Chachi Lucy for Lovejoy. He is the leading receiver in terms of total yards on the season in the 4A area here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. He also has 7 reception touchdowns as well. He's a big guy that can line him up in several different places on the field. As you were mentioning earlier, they have a lot of guys that line up in different places. Right. What is the key to stopping a dynamic receiver like him?
Well, I think with Chachi and all of them, you know, you have to understand that they're going to go get the football. I mean, you know, as well as Bowman throws it and as well as Dakota has thrown it at times, they go up and get it, and because when the ball's in there, it's theirs. That's how they think. You have to think that way defensively. You know, you got to break on it quick, and you got to be up into them, and you got to be physical with them. And you got to force them to thread needles when they need to, and just be physical with them. And when the ball's in the air, you have to assume it's ours and go fight for it like that.
Is it a deal where you're going to play a little bit more trying to jam them at the line of scrimmage to prevent them from getting out in those open spaces?
It could be some. I mean, I think a lot of that will determine upon the call that we make. You know, we're like everybody else. We play multiple coverages, and the technique used is different for all of them. You know, and they're all different rhymes and reasons why we call it. So I think we'll get a little bit. You'll think we'll do a little bit of everything against them, to be honest with you. But whatever we're doing, we got to do it well. That's the thing.
One word you use to describe the Lovejoy's players is intelligence. They're a very smart team and well coached all around. Especially their defense, they show a lot of different stunts, a lot of different ways that they can try and attack you on offense. Right. What are you going to try and expose on their defense?
Well, I think defensively they pose problems for us offensively because number one, the tenacity that they play with. They play very, very, very hard. They take a lot of stuff. They take personal out there, you know, and we have to go out and execute what we do, you know, and try to see what they're in and then try to exploit it some. We got to take care of the football. We can't turn the ball over, and we got to hope we can force some turnovers. And if we can do those two things, and we can, you know, contain Bowman and contain Sefcek, then we like our chances. But, you know, it's going to be a heck of a game, and we're excited about it.
Throughout the first few games of the year, it's really been clear that Ben Ducey is the guy at quarterback. What do you think he has to do against Lovejoy in the end to get you the W?
I think he needs to do what he's been doing, and that's play within the scheme, make the reads he needs to make the decisions he needs to make, take care of the football. You know, he's done a great job of that for us this year. You know, he's reading things right. He's throwing the ball accurately. You know, he's over 60% completion rate for the year, which is huge because we don't do a lot of just short, quick passes. We do a lot of intermediate to deeper route passes, and he's thrown the ball well. He's going to have to do that again. He's going to have to take care of the ball, lead our offense the way we need it to be led, and then go out and execute the plan.
Also, a big key for this game is that it's at Ron Post Stadium on your home turf. What do you need out of the crowd for this game?
Oh, you know, our crowd's been phenomenal. Even, you know, Royse City, which is an hour drive away, the other night we had a big crowd there, you know, and I hope they come out again. I hope they get into the game like they have, because that makes it exciting for everybody. You know, we need our crowd involved, and we're going to need everybody there. You know, and being at Ron Poe is fun for us. We love playing there. Our kids love playing there, and, you know, it's going to be an exciting atmosphere. It's our first Friday night game at Ron Poe. You know, this year we played a couple games on Thursday there, and to get a Friday night 7:30 kickoff game is going to be exciting, you know, and it'll be a lot of fun.
This may be one of those games that the crowd's going to remember if you can pull out the win. Coach, good luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It will be a game you don't want to miss. Lovejoy and McKinney North Friday night at Ron Poe Stadium, 7:30 kickoff. Both teams 1-1 in district play. The winner has the inside track in getting into the playoffs.